In today's headlines, Ministry of Health press conference addressing the country's response for monkeypox, and police have arrested a man who broke into a recent murder victim's home. Hello, Turks and Caicos. Welcome to PTV News Watch. Thanks for tuning in this Tuesday, August 9, 2022. The real news starts now. Days after the United States declared the monkeypox outbreak a public emergency, Acting Minister of Health, Honorable E.J. Saunders, issued an update by way of a press conference on the country's planned response.
Acting Minister of Health Honorable E.J. Saunders says the Ministry of Health has prepared a thorough response plan to the monkeypox outbreak that was recently declared a public health emergency in the United States.
Probability is high that we could have it. So far, we haven't seen anything, so we certainly hope that God keeps blessing us that we don't have it. But as I said before, that the Ministry of Health has a detailed action plan. I was going through it today, 35 pages of details of how the country will react if anyone shows up with it.
Honorable Saunders says the monkeypox isn't as contagious or as deadly as some cases of the coronavirus. However, the biggest risk is an actual outbreak, and their response plans surface around isolation.
Going through it, it's no less than the same action plan for COVID. So it has a lot of mask wearing, isolations. The difference is that the recovery rate for monkeypox seems to be much higher. And so in terms of so I'm expecting that the hospitalization will be less. And so the idea behind the action plan is to make sure have you isolate as quickly as possible, and but the people around you to make sure that they practice the same type of hygiene that they did for COVID. So you wouldn't see much difference between the reaction around monkeypox than would happen around COVID, except that this is more around isolation than treating people in the hospital.
As far as the vaccine is concerned, officials say the TCI should be outfitted on a need-to basis rather than an automatic stock of inventory on a basis of probability.
In cabinet, the governor had spoken and said that the UK had made the vaccine available. Like I said, I don't think that the amount of doses that they have available globally is the same at the same level as as COVID-19 vaccine, and I have a feeling that this one will that they'll probably wait until we start to see a case or two in the Turks and Caicos. In terms of cementing that, we're in overseas territory. They've made it available for us, but they don't want to be sending down 1,000, and we don't have any cases. So this is going to be strictly monitored, and I believe that what's going to happen is that once we start to see cases in the Turks and Caicos, then we'll be able to say how many we need, and they will probably send down just as many doses as we need versus sending out and saying get as many persons vaccinated as possible.
Honorable Saunders says MOH officials presented a document to Cabinet outlining the addition of 41 communicable diseases to the already 16 communicable diseases previously recorded for surveillance purposes.
Police have arrested a man who they say broke into a recent murder victim's home and robbed him of valuables. Details in this report.
Doral Fulford of South Caicos has been charged in relation to a burglary that occurred at the home of Justin Cox Beckles, who was shot and killed on July 24th. Police said the burglary occurred on the same day 2 Sundays ago. The 26-year-old accused burglar appeared in the Grand Turk Magistrates Court today, charged with the offense. Police have so far not given any indication whether Fulford was involved in Beckles' murder. One man, 27-year-old Brian Francis, remains in custody in connection with the senseless murder. Last Thursday, Francis was officially charged with murder. The murder took place in the early morning hours of July 24th at Rock Plaza, along Millennium Highway in Blue Hills. Justin received a single gunshot wound during the incident, and despite the efforts of those assisting him to the hospital and the medical staff, he died of his injury. Commissioner of Police Trevor Button has stated that the charge against Francis is not the end of the investigations into Justin's murder, as it remains active. At the time, he also revealed some details that were not known to the public at the time of the incident. The commissioner said the shooting occurred while several people were involved in a fight at the scene of the crime. He is once again urging anyone with information to contact the police or call Crime Stoppers anonymously. The commissioner said, quote, "I am urging community leaders or family members of those who know something to encourage and support witnesses to come forward. Crime is everybody's business, and none more so when a young, innocent life is taken so callously." End quote. For PTV News Watch, I'm Delana Als.
We'll be right back with more News Watch when we return.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to News Watch. The date has been set for collecting the new stimulus checks, and Newswatch has all the details for you just days ahead of the commencement of the distribution process. Here's more.
Officials say in order to ease congestion at the Providenciales Sub-Treasury, the latest stimulus inflation will be distributed in a batch system. The system is as follows. Senior citizens over the age of 60 who are traveling within 24 hours from the start of the distribution process will be given preference. The remaining checks for Provo will thereafter be distributed by the applicant's first name on the following dates. Applicants whose first name begin with the letters A through C will collect on August 10th. Applicants whose first name begin with C to I on August 11th. First names J to L on August 12th. M to R on August 13th, and applicants whose first name begin with S through Z on August 15th. Remember to walk with a valid Turks and Caicos Islands government-issued photo ID. This could take the form of a driver's license, NIB card, NHIP card, BOTC passport, or TCI status card. Your application number, and for those traveling abroad, an itinerary must be presented. Officials say those who are disabled or confined to their homes in the islands, of course, will be provided a check delivery service by their island treasury. Approved applicants are asked to make a written request for that delivery at tciassistance@gov.tc. This request must include a copy of the approved applicant's ID, application number, phone number, and delivery address. Be reminded that checks will not be assigned to banks or released to anyone other than the approved applicant.
In observance of World Breastfeeding Week, COPPA published a press release in support of breastfeeding as a long-term strategy for a more productive and healthy region. Newswatch has more.
In a press release on the 3rd of August, it was stated that Dr. Joy St. John, Executive Director at CARPA, said that 6 months of breastfeeding is beneficial to the infant, mother, family, and environment on a whole. Therefore, it is seen as an effective strategy in gaining regional and global goals on health, nutrition, food security, environmental stability, and economic growth. The WHO and UNICEF recommend that breastfeeding should commence 1 hour after delivery and be exclusively continued for the first 6 months of the child's life. After that point, safe, nutritional solid foods should be introduced alongside continual breastfeeding for the next 2 years of life and beyond that if possible. Early introduction of breastfeeding is crucial to the survival of newborn babies, as breast milk provides adequate nutrition to enable proper physical and mental growth, and also provides antibodies to boost the immune system and protect the infant from childhood ailments. Breastfeeding can reduce the chance of obesity and non-communicable diseases for both the child and the mother. Infants that breastfeed longer have a 13% risk reduction for obesity, along with a lower risk for type 2 diabetes. Women who breastfeed have a reduced risk of postpartum obesity or weight gain, a 37% lower risk of ovarian cancer, 26% lower risk of breast cancer, and a 32% lower risk of type 2 diabetes. Many infants in Latin America and the Caribbean do not meet WHO and UNICEF recommendations for breastfeeding. Only 54% of infants initiate breastfeeding within 1 hour of birth, 37% breastfeed exclusively for the first 6 months, which is below the global rate of 44%, and between 31 to 55% of children continue to receive breast milk up to 2 years of age. Breastfeeding, more so when occurring exclusively, allows for healthier mothers and children who can in turn contribute meaningfully to the community and society at large. Regarding societal impact, there is a reduced tax burden on communities and governments to ensure children are properly fed. Additionally, more funding is made available for national development. This year's theme for World Breastfeeding Week, Step Up for Breastfeeding, Educate and Support, is aligned with WBW's Sustainable Development Goals 2030 campaign. The campaign highlights the links between breastfeeding and good nutrition, food security, and reduction of inequalities.
Don't move just yet. Coming up next is your sports authority and weather forecast. Just after this break.
This is a reminder that all PTV service accounts are due on the first day of each month. Accounts should be brought up to date by the 28th of the month to avoid disruption in service. Payments may be made on our office at Stubbs Diamond Plaza, Providenciales, Mides Plaza, North Caicos, and Airport Road in South Caicos. Payments may also be made online using Scotiabank, CIBC First Caribbean Bank, and Royal Bank of Canada. Please allow 3 business days for online payments to be processed. We thank you for your cooperation.
Here at People's Television, we're more than just your leading news and entertainment services. We are
spreading the gospel.
We are breaking barriers.
We are preserving the culture. Each one, teach one.
We are committed to excellence.
We're creating change.
We are creating memories.
We are the future.
I am PTV.
I am PTV. I am PTV.
I am PTV.
We are PTV.
We are continuing the legacy. We are PTV.
Welcome back to Newswatch. Here's the latest in your sports authority and weather forecast.
Two of the TCI's most dedicated and talented cyclists have taken on the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games in what they are calling an experience of a lifetime. Sean Rogers and Yvonne Williams competed in the men's road race and say they are grateful for that experience.
Super excited. Super excited. We're around people we admire, so that's a win in itself.
I've been watching everybody trying to get photos with Geraint Thomas. Oh yeah. I definitely want to get a photo with him. He's one of the greats.
He's a superstar.
Most definitely. And it's pretty good to be. I mean, it's a dream come true. You know, as a cyclist, these are the things you dream about. You see it on TV. You see these persons riding, and you say, man, if I could only ride with them one day. But just to be able to line up on the same starting line with those guys and ride with them, even if you don't finish with them, it's a wonderful feeling.
Sean Rogers, one of the founding members of the TCI Cycling Federation, speaks on the progression of the federation over the last 6 years, which was formed to promote all aspects of cycling throughout the TCI.
We started back in 2016, and by 2017 we had a federation, and we've been building ever since then, and we've developed, a few good cyclists, but it's still in development. So look for some big things from the Turks and Caicos, because we're very, very talented. Oh yeah. Oh yes. This is just the beginning.
Rogers says they are proud to be in the presence of some of the greats in cycling and feel honored to be putting the TCI on World Center stage.
We are riding with professionals, so we know we're not at that caliber, but we're going to sit in as long as we could, make our country proud. So when we go back home, everybody will know that we ran out there, we did our best.
The Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games saw the participation of over 70 Commonwealth nations and over 5,000 athletes. The Games opened on July 28th and ended on August 8th.
Here's your weather forecast for August 10th, 2022. For the nation's capital, Grand Turk, mostly sunny skies, high 83, low 80, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For South Caicos, mostly sunny skies, high 83, low 79, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For North and Middle Caicos, partly cloudy skies, high 84, low 79, winds east-northeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. For Parrot and Pine Key, partly cloudy skies, high 84, low 79, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. And on Providenciales, partly cloudy skies, high 84, low 79, winds east-northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Here's your sunrise and sunset. Sunrise 6:26 a.m., sunset 7:25 p.m. Now for your high and low tides. High tide 6:39 a.m., 7:11 p.m. Low tides 12:40 a.m., 12:42 p.m. And for your hurricane outlook, for the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, shower and thunderstorm activity has become more limited, associated with a tropical wave located a few hundred miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands. While some gradual development of this system is possible over the next couple of days, environmental conditions are forecast to become less favorable by this weekend. This system is expected to move westward to west-northwestward at 15 to 20 miles per hour across the tropical Atlantic during the next several days. And that's it for your weather forecast and hurricane outlook.
That's the end of today's edition of Newswatch, but don't forget you can catch us on our website at www.ptvatci.com and meet us back here every weekday at 6:30 p.m.